So students will begin on a crate. One team will be standing behind each crate. Um, and what they have to do is, on the instructor's command, start pulling the rope to take up all the slack, and then the rope will get tight. Once the rope gets tight, they need to tug or let go and let the rope slide, trying to get the other person to take a step off of the basket. The person on the basket who remains on the basket wins. Additional rules. If a student completely lets go of the rope, he or she is out. If after 20 seconds both students are still on the basket, it's a tie and both students are eliminated. If a student wins, then that student gets back in line. The people who lost would sit down. When one team is completely out of players, then the game stops and points are awarded for the remaining players. So if one team still has 3 people left, that team would get 3 points. You would restart the game until it was time to transition to the next event, and the team with the most points would take first place. To get set up, each student will need a clothespin pinned to the middle of their back. Uh, the video here is played in the gym, but during the field day it will take place outside. Um, the students will get lined up with one team in each corner of the field, and on the instructor's command they will all run and try to steal each other's clothespins. Once your clothespin is taken off, you are out. You must return to your corner where you started and sit down. The clothespins that you take off of others are not for you to put back on yourself. You have to put them in a bucket, which will be in your team's corner. To win the game, or at the end of the time, then the parents will count to see which team has the least players out, and that team will take first place, and so on. Students should be encouraged to be very active going after people's clothespins versus just kind of standing and not attempting to take anyone else's. Your team leader will pick 3 students to be the launchers, preferably 4th through 6th grade students who have demonstrated leadership or positive traits during the field day. These students will launch the ball to the remaining team members who will have to try to catch it. The other students will be holding a sheet like this, and they have to catch the ball in the blanket or in the sheet. Groups will alternate, getting one catch at a time, and get a point for every catch made. During the last few minutes of the station, the bonus round will begin, and for the bonus round, water balloons will be used instead of balls. And what the groups have to do is they have to catch the water balloon with their hands and keep it intact. It cannot pop. If this happens, it is worth 5 points. Students will be arranged in a line, and the front person will have 3 frisbees. They must throw the frisbee at one of the targets. Right now the targets are flat on the ground. I may also have vertical targets, vertical hula hoops that they have to throw through. The first target is worth 1 point, the middle target is worth 5 points, and the far target is worth 10 points. After the 3 throws, the student will run and get the frisbees and bring them back to the next person in line, and then go to the end of the line and wait for another turn. The team with the most total points at the end of the game will win. This will be divided up between older kids and younger kids. When the older kids are going, the younger kids will play Jump the Creek, and vice versa when the younger kids go. Jump the Creek is not one of the games where that will be scored for points towards the overall winners, but just an activity that students can do while they're waiting in frisbee fling. You have two
The
jump ropes
hula hoops,
set a
if he
distance
doesn't make it,
apart,
then he would
and the
wait on the
students will
side
take
until the
turns all
game
trying to
started over,
jump
go
that
ahead and lay ya.
distance.
If they do make
Once
it,
one
then
time
they
through the
stay, they go
line,
back
then two
in
people will
line
move the jump
and
rope a
wait for the
little bit
creek to get
further,
bigger. Go ahead, Kylie.
and then the students who
So
successfully made the
they keep
jump will
going,
get
go ahead,
back in
Natalie.
line and
Go ahead, Megan.
continue that pattern until there's one
So
person
then
left who
Megan
made the
and
furthest
Cole
jump.
move that far jump
In
rope
which
back a little
case,
bit.
then you can
So
start with the
once
jump ropes
one time
closer
through the round, or
and
sorry, yeah, Cole,
try again.
then the jump rope goes back a little bit and they would have to try again. All right?
Teachers and coaches will partner up the students with the older students or the bigger student being the horse and the younger student being the rider. So it's very important that you get the students matched up the right way. So the older student will carry the younger student, like in a piggyback race, down to the cone. When they get to the cone, the younger student will have to get off and run 3 circles around the cone and then go through the horse's leg one time, and then the younger student or the smaller student will get back onto the horse, and they will race back to the beginning. So it looks something like this. Obviously, once they get back to the beginning, then the next students in line would continue the race.